Bam, we're live. Am I here by myself? What the hell's going on? Where am I? Not that window. Eric Weiss. Hi, good morning. For a second time. If I do seem a little edgy on this show, it's because I am not yet at peace. What are you not yet at peace with, Sevan? I am not yet at peace with the fact that... Hi, Jody. I'm not yet at peace with the fact that 10 minutes ago, my son said, hey, I want to skate on the ramp. And I went to the back of the van to get his skateboard out, and it's not back there. Hi. Thank you for the coffee. I'm trying. My wife just said, have fun. I'm trying. I just bought Avi a new skateboard the other day. We went there, took the time out of the day, had the whole thing assembled. The board was given to us by a guy named Ryan Sheckler. Well-accomplished skateboarder. Put the whole board together. Froze? Who froze? No, I never froze. I never went anywhere. Told you I'm edgy. And poor Keelan. I hope Keelan has healing properties when he comes on. Maybe he'll heal me. And I just went into the back of the car to get the skateboard out, and it's not there. And he's like, and his right away, his response, just like his dad, he goes on the offense. Nothing like a good defense. Wait, what is it? Best defense is a great offense. He right away goes, I left it right outside the car when I got in the car at the skate park yesterday. And then he said, I want another one. And that was it. I snapped. I don't want another one. I want that old one back. It's fucking expensive. Super cool board. Super cool. Damn. Sheckler gave us I think the guy's name is Ryan Sheckler. Maybe I can bring up his Instagram account while we wait for Keelan. Ryan. Oh, Shecks. This guy. This guy right here. God, technology is amazing. This dude. Shecks. Ryan Sheckler. I skateboard and I'm from San Clemente, California. And it was a really cool board. I wonder if I could show it to you. What was so unique about it is it's wide, but the wheelbase is pretty narrow. So good for kids. I noticed Avi skateboarding on it right away was amazing. Oh, here it is right here. Oh my goodness, that's the board he had. He had that one with the tiger on it. Tag your favorite local shop. Shops can now order. Killing me. I'm dying. Should I go put up a sign at the skate park? Eric, Susie, Daniel, geez, Louise, Jeremy, Eat World. Oh, sorry about the word. I know, it sucks. What sucks is I just spent $70 getting these awesome green plated Ace 33 trucks. Took it down to the shop. Got it assembled. Got him the grip tape he wanted. New bearings, new wheels. I'm frustrated with him. I take it upon myself, like I didn't teach him well not to lose his shit. And you know what? And that's where the responsibility, I guess, does fall on me, because I always load the car up for him. Great talking with my brother, Machine Gun Kelly. Proud of you, dude. Last night was amazing. Cool photo of Ryan Sheckler and Machine Gun Kelly. Damn, Machine Gun Kelly is tall. Or maybe he's got those platforms on. That whole room looks crooked. What's going on with that room? Okay, Kealan Henry. Enough of this. Feeling sorry for myself. Please let this be Keelan's. Ah, there it is. Guy took 40th at the CrossFit Games. I don't even know if he competed in a single event. He's also Chad Schroeder, Hillerfit, and Wad Zombie. Plus 4 more follow this guy. Can I click on that and see who the other 4 are? Oh, these are people we share. Cat Shear. See all followers. And he got 40th at the CrossFit Games because he had to pull out, not because he's ass. Well, maybe he's ass too. I don't mean to rule that out, but he had to pull out. He is from the country of South Africa. He representing the continent, the entire continent of Africa, which is the butt of a lot of my jokes when it comes to competitors at the CrossFit Games. But what really caught my attention was this photo. And yesterday, when I was going through and doing all the research on the guy, he was on what looked like a pretty big news show in South Africa. And when they asked him about CrossFit, one of the elements that he mentioned is the diet, and that you're not supposed to eat sugar, added sugar. And I really like that. I really, 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 really like that. I can't remember another. I can't remember. No, don't donate any money. I'm not. I have at least 50. Don't donate money for the deck. That's not why I was saying that. No. I can't remember hearing any other games athletes talk about the no sugar thing. Keelan has responded. Hey, Sevan, can you give me 5 minutes? Sure. But yeah, of course. Of course. You the man. You the man. You top 50 top 40 fittest guys on the planet. Jesse, do you do colonoscopies? Is that where the guy sticks the fingers in your ass? I did that once. Fingers in the ass? So someone's texting me. I did that once, and they sent me to a specialist, and they did it to me again. Just fingers, not a camera and tubing. And most people, it's not appropriate to text while you're doing a podcast, but when you're as funny as me, you can do all that shit. When your life's like just raw. Susie Tell, colonoscopy is when they put the camera up your ass. Yeah, okay, so I haven't had that. Phenomenal week, sir. Mr. Olson, thank you. Oh. I'm going to use that $9.99 to order new Ace 33 trucks so I can put together another board for my son. You know what maybe you know what I'll do? I wonder if Travis from Bellinghouse from Vindicate will hate this. Travis from Vindicate sent me a board, a Sevan Podcast board. Maybe I'll put that together and have my son ride that. I know it's supposed to be just like an art piece, but fuck it. Driving to Cali, and I get 2 podcasts. Sevan's the man, Daniel Gurity. Here's the thing. I was actually supposed to do a 3rd podcast today. 3. But I did not. Thank you, Mr. Olson. I appreciate it a lot. But Greg and his family are flying into California tonight, and so I'm like, hell, I'm partying. So I moved tonight's podcast to Saturday. It's with J.R. Howell and Taylor Self, and we're going to dissect the Madrid programming. That Madrid show the other day bored the shit out of me. I mean, I still give it a 9 because I got to hang with Brian. I think the programming show will be more fun, more critical. Brandon Waddle, maybe it should be Sevi does it all now instead of Heidi does it all. Why? What was Heidi doing? Definitely not Heidi doing it all. Silver lining, your son knows not to do it again. We learned. God, I hope you're right. I hope you're right. I just told someone yesterday, that is the 4th board we've lost, and that's the 4th board we've lost in skateboarding. Almost basically every day for 2.5 years. I think you can say every day. All left at the skate park. All left somewhere at that transfer point. All left at that transfer point. I never do that. I never lose my wallet or any of that shit. I never lose. I guess I don't know if I don't lose stuff because maybe I lose stuff that I don't know I lose. But I didn't even lose my virginity till I was 18. So Keelan used to be a big old rugby player. Look at him. And he lost a bunch of weight. And he talks about that as part of his journey. And I like that. 105 kgs, overweight, unfit, and unemployed. Dang. Would you make a flyer and put it up at the skate park and be like, hey, I lost this board, this brand new board. My son lost this brand new board. Please return. Here's the phone number. Yeah, I do. I do have the Badissi on my mind. It could go away quickly. I got a brand new cup of coffee. Third cup of the day. Crazy diluted, though. Third Paper Street cup of coffee of the day. Basically, what I do is I put a shot of espresso in this cup, and then I fill the rest up with hot water. So it's a slow drip of fuel. I don't think you get closure to a lost skateboard. Yeah, no, it's a lost cause. Thanks. Maybe I'll just go on should I just go on Amazon right now and buy a new set of trucks for him? Just call it a day. Keelan is now 12 minutes late. When do I get upset at that? You lost the one wheel there too, right? Oh, thanks, Adam. Thanks. Yes, it's 4 skateboards and a one wheel. And I purposely didn't say that because I was like, I had a little pride. Yep, I did. It's all, yeah, I did. Do you think last minute cutting media had any overall positive impact on the space creating ops for podcasts like this? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely no positive impact. What it did is when we lost the media, then right after that, the Floyd 19 thing happened and we were unarmed. Any criticism that anyone put upon us, we were unarmed and unable to fight back. We needed to be able to fight back. We needed to be. Do you remember that shit that Trump used to do, like where he would say something fucked up, and then a few days later he'd just say something fucked up again, so you forget the last fucked up thing he said, and it was just this constant barrage of shit that coming out. We couldn't even do that. If we would have had a media team, we could have flooded space. In that narrative where people couldn't do media because CrossFit hogged it all, or we had our hand up like this, it's never been more up than this than it is today. CrossFit has never been more exclusive than it is today on all fronts. Color of your skin, media content, size of your cock, all of it. Hi, caller. How are you?
Sevan, what's up, dude? It's Jim.
I'm processing. Hi, Jim.
Hey, question, because I heard you said Greg's coming in today. So have you talked to him in like the last, I mean, obviously you talked to him, but has he commented on the direction events have gone and kind of if it's just completely strayed from his vision or not? And kind of where the community's at or whole? Is that something we're going to get in the book that's supposed to be coming out?
Nothing. No, not really. Nothing that I could share. I mean, it's stuff that like, you know, me and him are out riding bikes or fucking around laughing or throwing rocks and just, you know, humor stuff. You know what I mean? I mean, when he sends me a picture of his new wakeboarding boat, and I'm like, so did you hear that they did an extra lap on the at the games? He's like, you know what I mean? He's like, dude, he wants to, you know what I mean? We're in totally different worlds, and he is so CrossFit. Basically, how he's evolved is you have to think of a scientist in a lab, and CrossFit was one of his experiments, and it's done, and now he's like on to another experiment. And his experiment is looking at broken science and where the where it got broken, where people, someone said it on the show yesterday. I think Sousa said it. Basically, Greg's realizing that, oh shit, people are trying to prove science right, not trying to prove science wrong. And that when you try to prove science right, it's no longer science. That's not what it's like putting the dick in the ass and calling it procreation. That is not procreation. That's sodomy. God, that was good. God, but you see how there's a confusion because the holes are supposed to be together.
I mean, it happens.
Jim, I gotta let you go. Love you. Bye.
Cool, man. Hey, buddy.
Hey,
Keelan,
how's it going?
I'm pretty wound up.
You feeling good? Sorry, I'm late.
No, you're it's good. I had a on a scale. I live a perfect life, and I had on a scale of 1 to 10, I had something bad happen to me that's like not even a 1. But when you live a perfect life, it you know what I mean? It everything up. It was like, like a shoelace breaking.
I don't really know what you mean because I don't know what a perfect life exists.
Oh. A perfect life, like you wake up and you're like, yeah. And then a bad thing is like when you put your shoes on and your shoelace breaks and you're like, oh. But in the big picture, you're just a few minutes away from talking to Kealan Henry. So who gives a shit if your shoelace broke?
How you guys doing?
Awesome. Are you outside?
Just got home. Just got home to my apartment.
Oh, and are you outside though?
No, I'm inside. Is there too much sound?
No. It's perfect. But it looks like you're outside and that we're like looking in a window inside.
That's the kitchen, dude. It's the kitchen.
Oh, wow. That's nice. That's stylish.
It's a apartment, and I live in France. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I live in France.
What are you doing there? What are you doing there? Are you dating the same girl that Lazar Jukic is dating? You guys are dating the same girl?
I don't think so. Not that I know of. I mean, hey.
I thought South Africa was where your domicile was, where you put your head down at night.
No, my nationality is South African. I was born in South Africa. I am South African. I still consider myself a South African. But I live and work, and my life goes on in France.
And in what city in France?
Bordeaux.
Oh shit! Do you know Daniel?
Daniel Shafi?
Yeah.
I don't know him personally. I know who he is, but I don't know him personally. No.
Because he has a gym there also, right?
Yeah, it's called Bordeaux. It's called CrossFit Louvre.
Even the one in Bordeaux is called that?
Yeah. There's three Louvres. There's the Louvre 1, 2, and 3.
You can go train there anytime you want, by the way. If you want to go in there and just say, Sevan said I could train here.
Okay, I've never been there. Now I've got a reason to go.
How close is it to your house?
It's about like 20, 30 minutes away.
Oh, so okay. I always thought of Bordeaux as being small. It's not small?
It is fairly small. But I mean, to get around, it's not the easiest.
Your nationality, South African. What's your ethnicity?
In South Africa, it's called colored, but in America, it'll be called mixed race.
And what are those mixes?
A lot of mixes. A lot of mixes, man. A lot of mixes.
You don't even know?
I know some. I don't know some. I know. So on my mother's side, she's from Swaziland. So that's a country within South Africa.
Uh-huh.
And so she's a Swazi from Swaziland. Descendants of John Donne, who was like a white Zulu king. He had like 40. He had like 40 Zulu wives, and so it's like a big family. Then on my dad's side, he's from KwaZulu Natal, so Durban, and that's there's quite a lot of it's very Indian based. So I think my grandfather, he's from Mauritius, the island.
You look Indian. You look Indian.
I
right?
look Indian.
Yeah, you look Indian. Kind of. But you could also be really dark Mexican. You look Indian, or you could be really like.
I get either Indian, either Mexican, or Brazilian. You know, depends on the day.
Yeah.
Depends on how much sun I've had.
And how did you end up in France?
Through my old career. So I used to be a rugby player. That was how I made my living. And obviously, so as a rugby player, got recruited to play for a team in France, and then just ended up staying. Met a girl, stopped rugby, and now CrossFit.
Are those two connected? You met the girl and then you stopped. That's not connected. That's just the order of the events. She wasn't like, "Hey, you got to stop playing rugby."
No, that's not connected.
So you're born in South Africa?
Yeah, I was born in South Africa.
And what was the first sport you played?
The first sport I played was soccer. Yeah, so South Africa is it's a huge fitness culture. It's very sporting culture. And I played soccer growing up, and then rugby. Soccer and rugby was basically the first two sports I played, and then cricket. Basically, so the school that I grew up was an all boys school, and you basically had to choose a sport, either summer sports or winter sports. And I would do cricket in the summer when I was young, and soccer in the winter. And then as I grew older, like I got to like 13, 14, that's when we started with like, you're allowed to play rugby with boots. So when you're under 13, you have to play rugby barefoot, which is really fun. But it's not as hectic. And then I've got my older brother. I watched him play rugby, and I was like, this is some hardcore shit. So I got to get into that. And then I changed. I went to water polo and swimming and rugby.
Dude, that's first of all, I've never heard of a sport anywhere where in the beginning you had to play barefoot, except for like, like beach volleyball or something where it's like, so that's fascinating to me. And that's awesome. Like that's the way it should be. They should make all youth sports play barefoot. What's interesting is my kid's tennis coach doesn't want him playing barefoot because I guess in tennis, one of the ways you slow down is when you're moving laterally to get the ball, you drag your other foot to slow you down. And he says you won't develop that skill if you don't wear shoes, but because you won't want to drag your foot. You know what I mean? Right. They're just kids. They'll drag it, right? Quit being a pussy and drag it.
Yeah. I guess I know what you mean, but yeah, don't be a pussy, man. Just
drag it.
Just drag it, yeah.
Did you like that as a kid? Was that hard transitioning to shoes? Do you remember that?
I don't remember, but I mean, if it was hard transitioning, but I used to do everything barefoot, I would always be playing. You either play barefoot or you play, you just get used to it. And then obviously going into high school, you have to wear boots for protection because obviously other guys are wearing boots. And if you're going to get like a stud in your face, which has happened before, it's not fun. But transitioning from barefoot to shoes, I think honestly, in my opinion, like later in my years now, it's definitely made a difference. And I wish I'd been barefoot for longer.
Didn't Africa have the 10,000 meter runner who ran barefoot in the Olympics, Zola Budd?
Yeah.
Do you remember her? You might be too young. And
I know Zola Budd, yeah.
Yeah, and she got knocked down in the 10,000 meter. I think someone stepped on her and she got up and still finished. But she ran the 10,000 meter at the Olympics barefoot.
Yeah. So when I grew up, like even in like the athletics and stuff, so I did a bit of cross country. I did a bit of like athletics, javelin, the 400 meter and stuff like that. Because that's like normal in South Africa. It's like those kind of activities, like you kind of had to do it. And that was all done barefoot. Like that was all barefoot. Like most of my
you threw the javelin barefoot.
Yeah.
Stud.
Yeah, dude.
Hey, if I'm in South Africa and I'm just walking around barefoot, is it just anywhere? Is that a scene? Like people will look at me like, or no?
Depends where you are, but it depends where you are. But in certain places, they'll just be like, well, this is like another normal guy.
Yeah.
So like I grew up in Johannesburg, which is this like the center. So that's like very, like who's who, and people like they're trying to want to do better than others. So if you'd walk barefoot there, they'd judge you quite a bit. And then I moved to Durban for rugby. So that's like by the coast. So that's like beach town, and people are very more relaxed. And they like, I'd go into shopping centers barefoot, I'd do everything barefoot. Like up to, I was like 22 years old, 21 years old, going to like a shopping center barefoot, and nobody would be bothered, man.
Yeah, that's a good ass life.
Yeah.
And when you say that you think that that's affected you at this latter age, meaning made you more in touch with made you a better athlete? Made you a better athlete, you think?
I don't know. I can't say if it has or hasn't, but I mean, now I just always wear shoes, and I always wear shoes, and I've had quite a bit of like feet issue problems or like ankles, and so I did a few ligaments in my ankle playing rugby. And then over the years, it's like just the tendons like overused and tendonitis and all that stuff. And my feet have taken quite a bit of strain. But I mean, the only thing that's changed is that I was just wearing more shoes. And I coach all day wearing shoes. You wear shoes all day. You train wearing shoes. like limit you going to bed wearing shoes. Then it's like too much shoes, man.
I don't know if this is true but many years ago, Joe Westerlin, who works for CrossFit, he's on the level 1 staff, and he was a strength and conditioning coach at the University of maybe Omaha. I can't remember. Big school, prestigious position he had, and big athletic school. And he basically, his theory is that because people put shoes on, they lost foot mobility, ankle flexion. And then when you lose ankle flexion, your knees start compensating for it. And then your hips start compensating for it. And everything, all the other, the back, as it moves further away, has to compensate for your lack of ankle flexion. And that's basically the source of all the knee replacements, people's back pains, all that shit. And I was like, wow.
It's so simple, Sevan. Like, just the next time you're out in public, and like, if you can just, if someone's wearing like short socks, or someone's wearing like sandals or like high heels or something, just look at the Achilles tendon. Just look at the Achilles tendon. So now, like, you'll see the Achilles tendon will have a slight bend in it, and it's just misformed because it's so used to you having an internal rotation. But you have to be standing. You have to be standing upright. You have to be standing upright.
I'm barefoot so much. I'm barefoot like 99% of the time. Fuck shoes. But I will look at that. So you're saying when you stand up, you'll see it like curve in like this, like instead of be straight?
Just look at your the Achilles tendon. So it'll either be nice and thick, or it'll be a bit like.
So my kids almost never wear shoes, and they do so much. We do so much jumping as one of the cornerstones of our. And my kids, their Achilles tendon is the thickest cable. By the time they were 5, I would see that thing. I'm like, that thing's like the thickest cable ever. It's so thick.
Not
as thick as probably some African kids, but say that again.
Said not used to saying things so thick.
No, you give her every once in a while, every 3 or 4 times a day, I see something that I'm like impressed at how thick it is. So water polo, soccer, help build an enormous metabolic capacity as a kid.
Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely, man. Sports like, rugby, soccer, athletics, water polo. Water polo is probably one of the hardest sports. Like, for me, that was one of the hardest sports I've ever played. Water polo. It's tough. It's tough. But great conditioning. You know, if you ever traded water for like longer than 20 minutes. Your body feels it. And,
while other dudes are trying to push you down, scratch you, kick you, do bad shit to you.
Yeah.
So when you said that as a boy in school you had to pick a sport, I'd never even heard of anything like that. Like you didn't have to do that in the United States. Was that just poetic license on your part, or you really did have to pick a sport at this school? Like all the boys had to play.
As far as I know, you had to pick. Like, as far as I know, you had to choose a sport. Like, there were so many teams. There'd be the A team, the B team, the C team, just to like the F team. So like, even the guys in the F team, they would still go out and play. Like, they would have to go and play. Like, even if you were shit at sports, and you would still have to go out and play. Like, you had to do it. And I think there must have been like 6, 7 teams, and you had to choose a summer sport and a winter sport, which I thought that was like really cool. And then, but I think it's changed quite a bit now. You know, times have changed. So
a softer, more gentler, pussified Africa.
Pretty much.
We have nothing like that going on here in the United States. We're only getting stronger.
Yeah. So basically, when I was like 15, 16 years old, I immigrated to England, to the UK with my family. And that's where I was like, yeah, okay, you didn't have to choose the sport. You could wear whatever you wanted to school. You could do whatever you want, really. I mean, you could smoke outside the school gates and then go into school and have like no repercussion. You could do pretty much whatever you wanted. That's when I was like, hey, things are different here. And then I spent a few years in the UK, went back to South Africa, then went back to the UK. And now I'm in France. So.
How old are you now, did you say?
29.
Why did your family at 15 and 16, you were like probably in the United States, you were like a sophomore in high school, your second year of high school. You had a couple more years of school left.
Yeah.
Why did your parents go to the UK for work? And was that hard switching schools?
Yeah, it was very hard. Like there was even a moment where like I think I spent like 6 months like just by myself or with my dad in South Africa, because the change was like so hard. So we go back and forth, and then eventually we just moved over and just to start a new life. I mean, Africa is not easy. Africa is not easy. As much as it's a beautiful country and work and like life is not easy. So we decided to move to the UK, gave it a go. Eventually, it didn't work out. We decided to come back to South Africa, and things have worked out anyway.
So basically, when you living in South Africa, your family's like, hey, there might be better opportunity in the UK.
Yeah.
And that opportunity looks like I'm just throwing this out there. More money, less violence.
Pretty much, yeah.
I guess kind of that's what we're all looking for, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
More money, less violence. That's the ideal
exactly.
kind of life. Shitload of money, no one's beating you up.
Exactly. Nobody's trying to steal your money.
Yeah, right. Your girlfriend in France, is she French?
Yes, she's French.
And born and raised.
Born and raised.
And how many languages do you speak?
I just speak fluently. I speak 2 languages. I speak English and French.
Not Afrikaans.
I can speak it. I mean, I'm not fluent. I can understand it 100%. I can speak it if I need to get by. And then like same with like a bit of Zulu. I can understand a little bit. I can't really speak Zulu that much, but I mean, also in South Africa, you have to choose a language as well, English or Afrikaans or Zulu. So yeah, I can understand. I took Afrikaans. I can understand Afrikaans.
I thought everyone there spoke Afrikaans. No.
Most people do, but no, not really. The language is English. Most people speak English.
And then how did you learn French?
I just picked it up. I wanted to pick up girls, so I had to learn French.
So how old were you when you learned French?
26.
Wow, was that hard?
Yeah, very hard. Very hard. So I moved over for rugby, and then so the club signed like 3 players, 3 South Africans. So we moved over together. They put us in a house, and for the first year or 2, we basically just stuck together. Just didn't speak French, just kind of just enjoying like our own thing. And then eventually you kind of try and throw yourself into an uncomfortable position, and then try and learn how to speak the language. So I was just like, screw it, I had to learn somehow. And then I kind of learned, and I suppose if you look at it through CrossFit, I kind of learned pretty well, because one of the trainers in my team, he opened up a CrossFit gym, and like everything was in English back then. So there was no French CrossFit level 1 or anything in any CrossFit's educational stuff in French. So he asked me just to give him a hand, and I just said, yeah, with pleasure. And then I started coaching with him part-time and helping him, and then kind of got into it, and yeah, that's when my CrossFit started.
Is that where you met your girlfriend, in the gym?
No.
Does she CrossFit?
No.
Wow. Is that a good thing?
Yes, I know. I mean, I don't want to force her to CrossFit. She does whatever she wants to do, and I'm happy with that. I like that we are kind of opposite in that way. And if I come home and I'm like, I couldn't get a muscle up, she'd be like, what the fuck's a muscle up? Who cares? Which is kind of good. It's kind of good to have that is a balance. So no, I mean, it's not a problem. Not a problem for me at all.
When you learn a new language, does your perception of the world change?
Definitely.
And how is that? Can you give me an example of how your perception of the world changes when you
it's insane, man. Like you see the world in two different places. You know, it's so like you see the American English based world where like there's this. I suppose the language goes with the culture. The language goes with the culture. So the more I learn French, the more I go deeper into the French culture. So you see things differently. And the French are like they don't like to be influenced by the outside like Americans and stuff like that. So you definitely see the world differently. And you know, I suppose coming from Africa, going to the UK and then France, you definitely see the world in like differently, you know. South Africa's mentality and culture, you know, people are so ready like for anything, you know. It's like the Wild West in South Africa, but in a good time. Like it's such a beautiful country. Like the people are amazing, the country's amazing, like you know. But at any second, somebody could just pull you out of your car and take your car. Any second, yeah. So you could be driving, enjoying the sunset, and then next minute someone's taking your car, and you're like, "Well, shit, what can I do?" In France, life is good. People like have it so good here, but they will complain. You know, people have complained for the smallest things, and that's
like their shoelace breaking. We're
Exactly,
back at the
exactly,
beginning. It's the way it
exactly.
is here in the States too. Everyone has it so good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
But they're
exactly.
so upset that they called me Sevan instead of Sevan or whatever the fuck my name is, and someone's getting upset. It's like, oh.
Yeah, exactly. So you see things like through perspective, and you learn like things differently. And the good thing about learning another language is that obviously you put yourself in a different perspective, and you learn to see the world differently. You know, myself, I've learned to just take a step back. You know, don't have to open your mouth all the time. You know, you don't have to say whatever you like thinking. You know? That's probably, I guess, one of the biggest problems we have in the world today is that everybody has an opinion, and everybody has to have that opinion heard. Sometimes you can just have an opinion and not say it, you know, and just keep it for yourself and believe what you want to believe, you know, do what you want to do. That's fine, but you don't have to shout it out and make your point to everyone. You know? So in France, people are very, very vocal about that, you know, making things heard and getting things done. And like, you know, you got to get the shoelaces done, you know.
You gotta be so upset that your shoelaces broke. And do you think you learned that creating that space between expressing your opinion because you had to learn a new language and you just weren't as quick to just spit out your opinion?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, that's cool.
Definitely, because you take time. You take time to think about what you actually want to say. And if you take too long, well, then your moment's passed, and then
right,
you know, you don't say it. So you take time. You think about what you really want to say. You think about like, if I'm saying this in this way, am I saying this phrase in this certain like manner? Is it really important, or are these people really going to listen to me? Are they really not going to listen to me? I mean, a lot of the time, you say things and people just won't listen. You know, that's true. And then sometimes you'll say something correctly, and they'll be like, "Well, this guy's actually just talking shit." You know, so you definitely take time to think about it. Just, I mean, I'd
wait. I think you covered your microphone.
sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
I said I would recommend anybody take a year off and go to like a country where it's not they don't speak your your home language, your native tongue. Just spend like a year just trying to learn and trying to speak another language, like, because you learn from like the baby level, you know, so you learn to speak like a baby. So then you think about things a lot more like in detail and what you want to say and how you want to say it. And that goes a long way, I think.
This guy I know one time said that people should only express every fifth thought. But the problem is people react so quickly they can't do that, right? They have a thought and they say it as when they say it, that's the first time they heard the thought. So then they actually start to believe they are the thought.
Yeah, 100%. That's interesting. The fifth. So they said you should only express the fifth saying.
Every fifth thought you have, that's the one you should express. Don't express more than that, because and what that does is it's a meditation practice, right? You have to be aware enough. So
yeah, 100%. That's actually true. Yeah, you got to be aware, like what you're saying, and is like, am I really contributing with saying the first thing that comes out of my mouth. Are there people really listening to what I'm going to say? And, is it really important?
The perfect example that I see, just I don't know, once a month in my life, or once every 2 months, is you're driving and someone flips you off, and your automatic response is to flip them off. But if you don't, you're every single time my thing is to put my hand out the window. Sorry, dude. Or we're good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
definitely. Yeah, I know.
Everything goes away. But the first thought is like,
yeah,
just
like,
match birds, right? It's like, fuck you, no, fuck you. But if you let that one go, you'd be like, it's cool, sorry, my bad, sorry. I was texting your mom.
Yeah, dude, definitely, man, definitely. Yeah. Hey, but if everybody could just take a minute to think about what they say, and the world would probably be better.
When you're doing rugby, how do your parents react? Does everyone do rugby? Does anyone actually make a living playing rugby their whole life? Or is there so few at the top? Is it because it seems like by the time you, as a young man, if you go to France to play rugby, at this point you've put in such a level of commitment that you're like, okay, I'm hoping I can make a living doing this.
Yeah, definitely, man. So it's complicated. Rugby is such an amazing sport. Honestly, I love the sports still. I mean, I have a complicated relationship with rugby at the moment. But having said that, like, it's true. It's hard to break through. And in South Africa, there's such a huge group of talent of like athletes, and it's the same thing in CrossFit. It's the same thing in CrossFit. Like, there's a big group of like talented athletes, but to break through is so difficult, right? And the only opportunities are elsewhere. So overseas.
Say that again. The early opportunities, what?
The only opportunities are elsewhere. So I went to the UK, I went to France, to find other opportunities. And even then, to break through, it is still hard. So you can definitely make a living, but you can definitely make a living. I mean, I can go back now and sign to a team here in France, and like I'd probably make more money than I'm making now as a coach. But I mean, the passion, the risk versus reward is not there, because the risk versus reward is not there for myself.
Meaning you get hurt and the next year you're unemployed.
Yeah, basically. And basically, it's not even that. I mean, you could get hurt, and then within 3 months they'll be like, "Hey, listen, you can't play anymore. You're not providing anything for the team. We're cutting you from the group, and we found somebody else. So, by next one in, first one out." Okay, and then you're looking for another club. That happened to me my whole career. I never played, like, I wanted to play high pro rugby national team. That make a huge living. That was the dream. That was the dream. But unfortunately, that's not reality. I did everything that I could to get there. I put in the hours, put in the work. Did what I could, and still never made it. I managed to be a professional rugby player and make a living for like, I think 3 years. I made a living out of the 10 years that I sacrificed, and still got not much to show for it after that. Just that I'm pretty good at fitness.
Yeah.
I suppose.
And this picture here, is this what you look like when you're playing rugby? Is that the rugby version of you?
Yeah, it's not far off.
How much do you weigh there?
105 kilos. That's like 225 pounds, just a bit more.
And how tall are you? Do you know, in inches or in feet?
Like in inches, I'm like 1.68 meters.
Okay.
I don't know what's that in inches.
Someone will put it in the comments.
I'm not far off from Fraser or Colton Mertens.
Oh, so you're like 5'5".
Yeah.
Well, you're proportioned good. You don't.
Thank you.
When I look at you, you don't look like you're 5'5".
Thank you. I'll take that as a compliment.
And when you lost this 40 pounds, did you do it on purpose, or this just incidental, a byproduct of doing CrossFit?
A byproduct of doing CrossFit, honestly. It was accidental, I mean, so obviously in rugby, you got to be big, you have to be strong, and you got to be fast. And most coaches want bigger guys. So I was doing everything in my power to be as big as possible. Like, that's why I was big. You know, I was eating so much. I was training like just weightlifting, like powerlifting basically, and just trying to be as big as possible and as heavy as possible, because weight moves weight. Got too big, and then, you know, got too big, got cut from the team, found another team. Eventually, the guy opened the CrossFit gym. He was like, just come try CrossFit, I was like, nah, that's for pussies, man. I don't do that shit. I don't do pull-ups like that.
Well said.
And then I was just like, okay, I'll do it. I'll try it. I tried it once. I was like, geez, yeah, this is hectic. It was really insane.
So this giant guy, sorry, I have to show this picture one more time. This giant guy did CrossFit right here. This guy tried it on the right.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I got my ass whipped by like just everybody.
What, do you remember the first workout?
Yeah, I do.
What was it?
Diane, 21:59 handstand push-ups, deadlifts.
Wow. Okay.
And
so when you looked at it, you're like, I can do this.
Yeah, man. I was like, 21 deadlifts, 100 kilos, 25 pounds. That's so easy. I did the deadlifts like so easy, and I did the first 21 handstand push-ups strict, unbroken. And then I think my heart rate went to like 250, and I just couldn't move.
You just stopped.
I just couldn't move. Yeah, I just couldn't move. I just stopped. I did the deadlifts, and like, I don't know if that's ever happened to you. Like, the first time you've ever done like a high intensity workout after a long while, your body just like, it's like a cramp, but just your whole body.
No, I have not had that. But I appreciate you, Keelan, trying to talk a CrossFit Games athlete trying to talk war stories with me. I appreciate the respect. No, I have not had that happen to me. I almost walked once when I did Murph. I didn't quite walk. I almost walked. I just jogged so slow. It looked like walking, but no, I never worked out so hard that my whole body stopped. My goodness. And so then what happens from there? How does the body, so you're a rugby player, you dabble in CrossFit. So there, at some point there had to be this leap, right? Now, are both your feet in the CrossFit
no
bucket, or do you still have rugby aspirations? The dream's still alive?
No, it's all CrossFit. Yeah, it's full CrossFit.
But so tell me about stepping over. When did you let go of rugby and kind of step into the CrossFit as an athlete?
That's a tough question, but I mean,
so it was slow, kind of gradual, like you didn't even see it happening?
No, I saw it happening, but I just continued rugby. So I lost like a lot of weights with like really fast, like within like 6 months of doing CrossFit. So I was like, okay, full in, bought into it. You know, I have my strength conditioning like diploma and everything. So I've done that since young, and I've always been into like fitness and everything. So I went full into CrossFit, just level 1. You know, it's free, and anybody can read it. Yeah. So I went on it, read it, did it, and I was like, hey, this is interesting. I did the zone diet. You know, you do like the blocks and everything. I was like, yeah, that's interesting. I think it's pretty good. I mean, I think it's pretty decent, but I just adapted it to what I could be more functional with. And then, the weight went off so fast. I got really fit. And then I was doing like CrossFit like 2 times a week, and I was coaching 2 times a week.
What year is this?
2017.
So that's 5 years ago, and you would be
that was like basically at the beginning. It was like the beginning when I just did, and then so there's like 3-4 months of like just doing CrossFit, and I was just like, you know, you dive into the rabbit hole like all in. I was like, CrossFit. You see like Rich Froning and Dan Bailey. I was like, dude, these guys are jacked. I want to look like that. I found like Ben Bergeron on the internet. So ComTrain was free, like free programming. I was like, what the hell is this? 3-headed beast and all that stuff. I was like, wow, this shit is insane. Went full into it, you know. I did the open by accident. So basically it was like, I think that was the year when Reebok was like, if you buy a pair of nanos, you get a registration for the open. And it was like 6 months had gone by, and I was doing weightlifting and Metcons and like these Adidas, like runners. So I was like, hey, let me finally invest in a pair of CrossFit shoes, and happened to get a registration for the Open. Did pretty well. Pretty well for my box in the box, right? And then I was like, hey, this is pretty fun. Watch the guys, like the best guys do it, Froning and the guys like that. So I was like, this is really interesting. Still did rugby, and then eventually 2019 came. 2018, 2019. I was like, let me maybe try a competition. I don't know if I was going to do it. I was still playing rugby. I'd play rugby like every weekend. I was contracted as a full-time player. And
did they say anything about your weight loss?
No.
No.
Because I mean, my performance was still good. Like my performance was actually never better. Like I was performing better than I'd ever been, because that was my original style of play. It was more mobile and more dynamic. Because
Dear Greg Glassman, your program made me a better rugby player. Thank you. Much love, Kealan Henry.
Yeah, basically, hey, dude, it's the truth, man. I mean,
here, and I'm Greg. I'll respond to you. Yeah, no shit, Keelan. I have 10 million of these letters. Thanks. Go fuck yourself. No, I'm joking. I just love it. It never gets old, right? It just never gets old. Here you are. I'm looking at the picture again. Here you are, this prototypical rugby player. You start CrossFit. You don't get what you want, but you become a better rugby player.
Yeah.
And what you wanted was to be bigger and faster, and instead you became smaller and more fit.
Yeah, definitely.
Hey, you said you picked up the L1 manual and just read it. It was free.
Yeah.
You said your mom was Indian?
No, I don't know if I have Indian relatives.
Oh, I just said you look Indian.
Yeah.
What do you think it is that culturally your parents gave to you? You ruined my stereotype. I was going to say something really racist about Indians, just like, fuck, of course you just picked up the L1 manual. What do you think it is about your culture and your upbringing that makes it that you would just go get the book and read it and learn it? What do you think your parents instilled in you? Or how did
to
you
be honest,
that?
I wouldn't say that, because I mean, I'm probably the worst type of stereotype Indian, because I didn't finish high school. Like I was the worst in school. I wouldn't read anything, but that it just appealed to me because I was interested in it, because I wanted to be fitter. I wanted to be better. You know, like I wanted to be a professional rugby player, and I wanted to be the best rugby player. Like, so I would read all these articles. Like, back in the day it was bodybuilding.com. They would have like a load of articles of like just training. Then I'd find that. Then I'd go to T Nation. Then you'd go to like different, just all these like these blogs on the internet where you could just read about training and like being like athletic performance, you know. So obviously that interests me. And then I saw the games. At first when I saw it, I was like, this is a load of bullshit, you know. It'll never be a sport. The first time I saw it was on ESPN. They were throwing the medicine ball on a GHD, and I was like, yeah, I'll never do that. I was like, I'll never do that shit. I was like, wow, no way.
I remember that. I
was like, what is this? Not a real sport. And then I saw them doing like the butterfly pull-ups. I was like, no way. What is this? It's ridiculous. But I watched a video of Dan Bailey on YouTube. I can't remember the name of the video, but he was doing like 3 workouts, or he doing like 1 workout with dumbbells. And he was so jacked. And I was like, I want to look like that. What can I do to look like that? If he's doing that, I should be able to do it. Like if I did that, I'll look like that. You know, he was basically like the same profile as me. You know, he's like kind of stocky. You know, he's a big boy.
And I think he ran the 400 also. Didn't you say you ran the 400? He ran like the 200 or the 400 also.
Yeah, I think he did. So yeah, so I was like, he's got a good profile. Like, let me see. Like, I mean, if I could look like that, and you know, back in the day, I would always, as like a young athlete, it was all about like, if you look good, you'll be good. But I mean, that's not true. But I mean, if you look good, you'll be good. That's what I thought. Okay.
Right.
If you look good, you'll be good. So I was like, what can I do to look good? So let me see what this is about. And at that time, I was helping the guy open the CrossFit gym. And I was like, let's see what this CrossFit level 1 is. And I just read it, and I was like, oh, this is interesting. And then the more I read it, it was like more interesting. It's like, yeah, this is interesting. It's very interesting. I mean, it's nothing new. It's something that I've never learned before. But I mean, it's just a different way of saying it. And it's interesting, yeah. So that's. I mean, I thought, why not? It's free. Anything free is good, man.
The takeaway there for me is that, and I don't know why more people don't know this. All you have to do is find what someone's interested in and they'll consume it. And
definitely.
you don't have to put someone in a math class. If they're interested in fitness, they'll figure out math. Give them all the stuff they need. They'll figure it out. When you want to talk to them about power under the curve, or you want to talk to them about power and output, they'll start learning physics. When they start looking into supplements, they'll start learning chemistry. You can take any subject.
100%.
When they start looking about the origins of man, they'll start learning history. They'll be like, well, how did the earliest, who were the strongest men throughout time? And they'll learn history.
100%, man. 100% agree with you.
You know, you'll find out that the strongest men ever were the guys who built the fucking pyramids. You know what I mean? And why were they strong? And this is the workout. What did the strongest men ever eat? What do animals? I mean, it's just crazy. Here you are, a guy who doesn't graduate from high school, but yet you picked up the L1, and yet the smartest doctors in the fucking world, cardiologists in the world, are killing people, while the book that you read, the L1, is saving people's lives who have the same fucking problem. Go to a cardiologist, he'll fucking kill you. Go to Kealan Henry, he'll fucking save your life. He didn't graduate from high school. I rest my case. It's fucking nuts.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
Nuts.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, I know. It's crazy, dude.
And what did you see in yourself? What makes you think that you could compete at the games with these monsters? Do you think you have confidence, or do you have massive insecurity? Like, it has to be one or the other, right? Or like, who are you trying to prove something to, or do you just have so much belief
why would
in
you have
yourself?
massive insecurity?
I don't know. Your dad never liked you, and so you have something an axe to grind. You know what I mean? I mean, you look at Greg Glassman, who developed this, right? He was born with polio, tough upbringing, and he has a chip on his shoulder, and he had something to prove to the fucking world. No one wanted to touch him. They thought that it was the AIDS of the day. They thought if you touch this kid, you're gonna fucking die, get polio, and die. People picked on him the whole time. So he's like, okay, you know what I mean? He became the fucking most vocal, smartest, toughest guy in the room. Hey, assholes, who's looking at me? You know what I mean? So like, how do you? I could look at the picture of Dan or Rich, and I could empathize with you to be like, hey, I want to look like that. But to think that I could step on the floor and do what they do, I don't know. I don't have that in me.
You know, you have to believe in yourself. Like, I mean, I would never have started rugby because, like, if I didn't believe in myself, you know. And my dad was like always believing in me. My parents have always supported me in like everything, you know. My parents grew up in apartheid, you know, so you know it's apartheid, right?
Yeah, that's where. No, tell me what apartheid is. I know what it is. I was an 80s baby, but tell me what it is.
So you should know what apartheid is. So basically, it was in South Africa when people of color or non-white people were basically just had no rights. And
are you a person of color?
Yes. Am I a person of color?
I can't tell.
I don't know. Yeah. Basically, so there was people of color. Well, mostly Black Africans, and then they would also be like against Indians and colored people, like mixed race people, even like the Chinese people. So there was basically just people of color, right? They had different
anyone
rights.
Non-white.
Anyone non-white, yeah.
Okay.
So my dad, like, and my parents and my mother as well, they basically grew up not being able. So my dad he was not able to do, like, he was not allowed to do sports. Like, they weren't allowed to go to the field and play soccer. They weren't allowed to do this. Like, they had to do certain things, like whatever they were told, you know. So my dad has always been like, he wants me to do as many things as I could. So that's why I was doing as many sports as I probably could, like, you know. And he would, like, if I didn't want to do sports, he would be like, okay, cool, you don't have to do sports. Like, I want to do sports, I can do sports, you know. So he gave me all the opportunities, which I appreciate. You know, I'm thankful for that.
What year did apartheid go away?
The year I was born, 1993.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And that was pretty chaotic. That was a chaotic time for South Africa, right?
Yeah, it was. It was pretty intense. Yeah.
And then it wasn't until 2000. What'd you say? Well, you were 15 years old, so that was 2000. So 2008. Oh, so during the economic collapse, at least here in the United States, that's when you moved to the UK.
Yeah.
And did your whole family move?
Yeah, my whole family.
So then you're working in the CrossFit gym. I'm jumping back ahead again. You're working in the CrossFit gym, and when do you and you enter the open and you do pretty good? When does it like, okay, I'm gonna make a run for this. I'm gonna put my head down and really become the fittest version of Kealan Henry possible.
So there was a few years where I was like, I should probably do this full time, or I should probably just go full out and compete. But I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready to give up on the rugby gym. You know, I wasn't ready to give up. I sacrificed so much to be there, and I wasn't quite ready. So there was like, I did the open for like 2-3 years while I was a rugby player, and I knew I could compete. I knew I could do pretty well, but I mean, I just wasn't ready to give up. And 2019, the end of 2019, the season, 2019-2020 season, I got a huge injury. So I fractured my skull, opened up my retina, and was basically blind in one eye, and then had to operate on my eye. And they just like to take out all the fluid and all the blood in my eye, replace it with artificial fluid and everything. And I had like so it's called like a cataract, a boxer's cataract. So when you get too many hits in the head, you get a cataract in the eye. And so I had that operation done, and like 2 months later, I did the 2020 Open, and that was when they qualified the national champions, I think it was, or 2019, 2020, I don't know. And,
19, I think 19.
2019, yeah, 2019. And I was like, after like 3 workouts, I was sitting first, and I was like, what? I haven't trained at all. Like I had just operated like 2 months ago, and I was like sitting first, and I was like, what if I qualify for the games? You know, this would be insane. And then Jason beat me. I mean, Jason is just an animal. And Jason beat me, and I finished second, I think, in the Open. And I was like, okay, maybe this is like pretty good. Maybe I'll give it a run at it. Then the next year, COVID came, and I was like, oh, well, screw that. You know, it's too late to compete. Do I really want to compete? You know.
Where are you living at this time?
I'm still in France. I was still living in France.
Okay.
And I've lived in France for like 6 years. So I haven't moved here. I was like, yeah, is it worth it? You know, like, what's the reward? You know, what's the reward from competing and stuff like that? And then the COVID came, so I couldn't compete. I did enter like a few competitions, qualified for the Lowlands Throwdown, and then I got cancelled. And then I did Dubai. I qualified. I nearly qualified for Dubai, but I won like the raffle where they paid for my flights to go watch the Dubai competition, which was amazing. Like that was like that's when I was like opened my eyes, and that's when I saw like athletes like for the first time. So I'd never seen athletes outside of my box, and I was like, wow, okay, shit, these dudes are insane. This is like
So you went.
Yeah, I went, dude.
Yeah, what year was that?
2020.
Okay.
2019 or 2020. Yeah.
But during the
last one,
during the so-called pandemic, you went.
just before the pandemic.
Okay.
Just before the pandemic.
Okay, and so you saw all the other guys, and you're like,
And I was
oh
like,
shit.
wow, I was like, shit, this is this is pretty cool sports. I mean, I can get into it. I can definitely get into it. You know, I think I can compete with these guys. I was like, hey, let's see what happens. Then I moved, and I started coaching full time. Last year, I gave it like full in. I was like, okay, all into it, but mindset wasn't there. You know, just like you said, I wasn't all in. Mindset, physically, I think I was there. I could have won. Physically, I could have won, but mentally, I didn't win. I finished 5th last year in the semifinals. And then this year, I was like, hey, I really want to go. I really want to win. You know, I think I know I'm capable. I know I'm capable, and I know I'm capable of going to the games and competing with the best at the games. I know I'm capable. And so this year I went all in, and I qualified for the games. Unfortunately, injury came, and finished last.
What was the injury?
Like you predicted.
What? What was the injury?
A few injuries. So basically, I tore my hamstring.
Where and when?
10 days before the games. Before I was about to fly out to America. It was my last session, my last repetition.
Fuck.
Doing hang power cleans, and it just snapped grade 3, 8 centimeters, nice and deep. So it was quite a big one. Everyone was like, well, you shouldn't even fly, you know. And I was like, well, screw it, I'll fly. I'll try and compete anyway. And like, so basically the build
Does that hurt when that happens?
No, it's weird. It's
But
it's
but
like
do you,
someone,
but you do you know something happened? Like you're like, what was that?
it's like someone shot a gun. Like the sound was like someone shot a gun. The feeling was like somebody just kicked you in the back of the leg. But you look behind you and there's like no one. You're like, what? And you don't. It's not like really painful. It's like you just limp a bit. You're like, well, what is that? My coach was like, my training partner was like 10 meters away from me, and he's like, what is that sound? So you can hear it from like 10 meters away. And then I also fell off my bicycle because I go to work every day on my bike, and I fell off my bicycle and landed on my hand and really messed up my tendon in my hand. Like I couldn't even hold a dumbbell for a month before the game. So a whole lot of things. I had to get the vaccine because America you have to get the vaccine.
I want to apologize on behalf of all Americans for that.
Man, it's man. It's fine. They play by the rules.
All right, fine. I still apologize.
So I had to get the vaccine. Then I got COVID on the vaccine. I was like sick for a week.
Of course,
so I couldn't do anything. Like the whole build up, I just was overtraining because I was just like compensating from small injuries, and that whole idea of going to the games, like it's insane. You're like, I've just qualified for the CrossFit Games. I have to train like crazy, and a part of like social media, you see these guys training like 6-7 hours a day. You're like, this guy's doing 7 hours a day. I want to do 8 hours a day. This guy's doing like 10 workouts a day. I want to do 11 workouts a day. So I got really caught up in it. Like I got really caught up in. Like I was like, I missed a day. I would do 2 days like to catch up.
Right,
like,
right.
I went all out, and I was overtraining and under recovering, and I wasn't surprised that like I got hurt.
Did you even compete in one event at the games this year?
I did. I competed in 3 events.
You did.
Yeah.
But injured and beat up.
Injured and beat up, dude.
And what finally happened on the what was the third event? Was that the Capitol?
No, yeah. So I pulled up before the Capitol. So basically, I did the bike to work, which was funny because I actually placed pretty well in that workout. I don't know, not pretty well. I probably like for a guy with one leg who's not doing anything. I did the triplet. I think that's the triplet. Is that the pegboard, the second one? Yeah, 28th. Dude, 28th.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
I hadn't done, Sevan, I haven't done a workout in 10 days. Like I haven't done a workout. I'm not joking when I say a workout in 10 days, let alone like a toes to bar with a torn hamstring.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you about, the toes to bar. Was that crazy?
I had to basically do like a knee to elbow, like a strict knee to elbow, and just touch the bar, like just limit.
Did you get a lot of no reps on that?
No, dude, I was just doing them like 5 by 5. I was just doing 5 reps by 5 reps. I do 5 reps, drop down, 5 reps, drop down, without like forcing it, not trying to hurt myself, not trying to be stupid.
I heard you only did 4 laps on the bike and they didn't catch you.
I think I did 7 laps, dude.
Oh, okay.
Dude, I definitely did 4 laps. Like, come on, hey, dude, I didn't do. The guy in front of you is in front of you. He's not going to do that. Come on, like that whole lap situation was pretty messed up, to be honest.
Meaning you think that the athletes should have known?
Yeah, you definitely should have known. Like I know this shouldn't be the athlete's responsibility, but you should know. Like you should know. In that workout, Koski, at his last round, he just came up right next to me. I looked at him. I was like, "You're on your 5th lap, aren't you?" And he's like, "Yes." So I was like, "Okay, so I know I've definitely got one because I didn't see him the whole race. Right. I knew the guy in front of me was in front of me, and like if you know the guy's in front of you, you can see he's in front of you. If he's not pulling in before you, you shouldn't be pulling in either."
Right. And what about when you get off the bike and you sprint to the finish line? That's you don't sprint, right? You just hobble.
Sprint. Even the starts, I just walked. I just kind of like jogged like a little trot.
What do the games medics? What do the games medics say to you? Are they like, "Hey, Keelan, you can't go"?
They were really good. They were like, if you need to stop, like just stop. Like you just let us know. We're here. They were there for me. Like they were like pretty supportive. I just said, "Hey, listen, I just want to enjoy the moments, enjoy the experience, and make the most of it." And then the moment got pretty deep when I did the what is the workouts when you do the 400, 600, 800 sprints?
Oh, with the 300 pounds shouldered overhead.
Yeah, that moment
was
got
that
really deep for me.
what which one was that? What was that called?
Oh man, I can't remember.
Shuttle to overhead.
Yeah, shuttle to overhead. Yeah. That moment got really deep for me, man. I was like, because I couldn't even finish the run, and it's like everybody. You just see like people just going back and forth, and I looked up, looked in the crowd, and you can just see people's faces like, what is he doing? Like, what is he doing? And I was like, what am I doing? What am I doing? Like, is this worth it? And then I was just like, no, it's the capital. They said there's no time cap for the capital. It's you have to finish it. So I was like, no, I'm not doing that, man. Fuck that.
Did you from when you qualified to when you realized something's wrong with you to when you finally pulled out, did you ever have an emotional breakdown, like on the plane flight over, when you got to your hotel room, or when you realized that night you pulled your hamstring? Was there ever a moment where you put your hands in your head and just cried and was like, what the fuck?
There were many moments like that. But I mean, that's been happening my whole life, as this like struggling professional athlete all my life. I've had that more times than I've had success. So I've had I've had that experience way more times than anybody should have. But I mean, I'm used to it, so it's not like the worst thing that can happen. I just, you learn from it and you get over it. So you just like, hey, it's happened. It's what can I do to get better? How is this, like, is this really going to affect my life? Am I dead? No, it's not the truth. I mean, there's people like with situations that are way worse out there, especially coming from South Africa. When you see how people struggle, you like not competing at the games. Okay, that's not too bad. Listen, I'm still here. I'm on a plane to Madison that I've just qualified for the games. Of course, I definitely want to compete, and I should compete, and I'm going to compete, and I will prove you wrong, sir, and I will not be 40th on the list. Okay.
Hey, and you're the first black guy to come from Africa.
Yeah, true. True.
So fucking funny. You said you cracked
my
skull playing rugby.
Yeah.
I'm kind of afraid to ask how that happened.
Just took a knee to the back of the head.
To the back of the head.
Basically, I ran in with the ball. I tucked my head in to brace for impact, but I tucked my head in too low. I dropped down too low. He also dropped down too low and came in with like a knee to head at the right time, right spots. Straight KO. Woke up.
Oh, straight. It is a KO. Oh, wow.
Yeah. Straight KO. Just woke up like a few seconds later. I was like, what the fuck? Where am I? Couldn't see anything. Yeah.
Did you think you were dead?
No, I didn't think I was dead. I was like, who the fuck hit me?
Were you not? Did you have a concussion? Were you throwing up?
No. I've never thrown up from a concussion. I've had a few concussions and I've never thrown up.
Damn.
Yeah. I've had many concussions. I've had like about 7, 8.
Do you tell your parents about that, or do you not tell? You keep that? You're like, nah, they don't need to know that.
Some of them they know, some of them they don't know.
Right.
Yeah. Some of them they've been with me, like going to get MRI scan, like the scans, and they're like, oh my god, and also they got to pay that bill. And
right.
So, but now in my later stages, and I'll tell them. I'll keep more honest with them, and I'll be more honest.
So you're in the hunt for 2023.
Yeah, definitely.
And what about that hamstring? Is it healed?
It's feeling good. Back training.
Did you have surgery on it?
No, I didn't have surgery on it. It wasn't like the tendon or anything, so it is okay. It's
who's your coach?
I don't really have a coach. I don't have a coach, but I suppose my coach would be Dennis Dubois. He's a French guy who coaches Guillaume Bryant.
Oh, okay. Do you train with him?
We train now and then. We train every now and then.
Are you when you don't have a coach, if there's something you're bad at, do you have that discipline to just be like, hey, I'm rowing every day? If I suck at rowing, I'm gonna row every day.
Yes or no? I mean, like, if your coach is like, you suck at rowing, just row, I'm gonna be like, fuck this coach. I'm not gonna just do that. I mean, you have to have some limit. Like, if you really think, I mean, hey, it's worked for some people. It's worked for some people. But if you think just rowing every day and just be good at rowing is gonna make you a better athlete, then do it. If you don't think so, then don't do it. I mean, I like to do the things that I enjoy and the things that I don't enjoy, but I'll do it in like the way I want to do it. You know, I don't need somebody shouting at me and be like, hey, you need to squat every single day. You need to get stronger. I know I need to get stronger. I mean, I'm going to get stronger and I know what I need to do. It's fine. You don't need a coach to be all up in your grill all the time, man.
Do you consider doing that? Do you consider like, joining the mayhem programming or wanting to be in a camp, or is it anything you consider?
Do you want to know? Do you want to hear a funny story?
Please.
I did just that. So I program for myself. I just do, what I want to do. And so last year I finished fifth at the semifinals. So I was like, let me see what it is. Let me join a program. And see what they can offer me. I joined this one program, which is really good, really well known, and offers quite a good service. Did the workouts? Hey, look, I qualified, so the program might work. The program might work. I mean, it's not a coach. I don't have a coach, but it's the program. Qualified for the games.
And you followed it pretty meticulously.
Yeah, I followed it like every day, pretty much routine. Got me to the games, but had no help getting to the games, had no supports, like nothing, man. I reached out to them. There were some guys who were really like nice, but not helpful,
Like me. They're like me. I'm very nice, but I'm not so helpful.
Basically, yeah, basically like you. Yeah.
Meaning you bought this program. There were some people you liked the programming. You think it helped you, but when you reached out to the business or the group that does the programming, it's just like, hey, how are you? Nice hair.
Yeah, not even that. There was like,
they're not even as nice as me.
Left me on red, dude.
Oh shit! Have you told them?
I haven't told them. I mean, like, what do you mean? I didn't tell them. I mean, I even went to them at the games and I was like, yo, dude, I follow your program. Man, you're awesome. And he was like, okay, cool. Shook my hand and he was like, carried on doing what he was doing. Like, okay, cool. That was like awkward moments. I was like, okay, cool. And I was like, hey, carry on with my day then, I guess.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Here's why that's weird to me, because the community's not that big.
No, I know.
It's not. I mean, it's big. Like it's like it covers the planet, but it's really shallow water. It's only like half inch of water. It's not a deep lake.
No, but now I work with Dennis at Harder, Faster, Stronger. So he's a French guy. He's not too far from me, and so like. I mean, we go back and forth. He'll send me some programs. I'll send him what I'm doing. I'll be like, oh, that's very interesting. I'll try and add that into my program. And he'll tell me like, we just work together. And we're just good friends and we get along well and we'll chat and we'll talk about training. We'll talk about the games. We got to live the games experience together, which is great having him and Kim there like together. That was like awesome having them there, mentally that was amazing because we, there's like three of us in the same hotel room and we just had a good laugh. Through the good times and the bad times. And, he's a great guy. He's very intelligent. He knows what he's talking about. He's the guy. You see that photo when there's like four of us there after the...
Yeah.
Yeah, those are the two guys there. Dennis is the guy with the glasses and Guillaume is the guy with the... He also went to the games as an individual. He finished like 26, I think.
I was looking to see if there was a picture with you with one of these famous trainers to see which one you were talking about, but it doesn't even seem like there's a picture with you and that person.
Do you really think I was going to ask him for a photo? You know, I was like, yo, bro, can I get a photo with you, man? Nah, man. I was going to ask him a photo. I mean, hey, like, values are more important than who you are. You know, if you someone who's like just friendly and you have good values and good morals, that's important. That's very important. You know, just be like, well done, congratulations. You know, what can we do for you? Hey, man, here's a t-shirt. Like that's small things go a long way, like go far. You know, if he was like, dude, listen, great. We're having a training camp this weekend. We can't help you financially, but you're invited. Awesome. That's good to know. I'll do my best to be there. You know,
I invite people all the time to shit that I know they can't come to just so I can get the credit of inviting them. You're welcome.
You see, and then people will they'll be like, you're a good dude. You're a good dude with good values and good morals.
I have this fruit tree, Keelan, and it's just dumping fruit, these passion fruit. I have thousands of them. Right. Okay. And they're $3.99 a pop at the store, $3.99. So you know what I do? I just give like 10 to everyone I know.
Dude, that's
and I'm like a god. I'm like people just be like, hey, they'll lie to me and be like, oh, you look good today. I mean, people will say crazy shit to me now.
You know what, Sevan? If you gave me 10 of those fruits, I'd be like, you're one of the best guys ever. You're one of my best mates. You know, I'd be like, this guy's amazing.
I wonder if I could send you 10 to France. Will you text me your address? I'm gonna try to send you 20.
Okay, if you send me 20, like you're a real good guy, man.
I'm gonna get 2 years of a friendship out of you.
At least minimum.
So the goal is to go to the games in 2023. Can you make it? Can you do it again?
Hey, man, it's hard. It's not easy. Eh? It's not easy. I mean, look, I know I'm coming.
It's crazy, actually. It's kind of batshit crazy.
You know, I think, you know, Africa is definitely one of the hardest regions. Eh? I promise you, Africa is one of the hardest regions.
What? Wait a minute. It's the easiest region.
No. It's not the easiest region. It's one of the hardest regions to qualify. I'll explain to you why, right?
Okay, please. You're going to ruin my whole shtick. I always talk shit about fucking Africa. Don't ruin it.
I know you do. I listen to you talking shit about. I'm like, this guy's just talking shit.
You're going to ruin my whole shtick. Okay, go ahead.
No, you have to tape it to win. Like, you can't have any mistakes. You have to win. It's like you basically taping to win the games before going to qualify to the games, dude. It's so much harder, you know? And like, having said that, the field it's not as deep. Yes, I agree. The field is not as deep in talent, but the top 5 is very competitive. You know,
and there's just one. You're saying it's just one mistake and you're fucked.
Exactly. Those top 5 guys are very competitive for one spot. Whereas like Europe, the field would be like 15 deep, but there's 5 spots, so it's pretty much equivalent. You know, that one spot, you're like, hey man, one spot it can go. You fuck up one time, you're done, dude.
And your whole year's gone.
Your whole year's gone. Yeah, your whole year's gone.
All right.
So it's not easy. I mean, people I'm buying it. I'm buying it. Yeah. People always talk shit. And I'm looking at you. People are like, yeah. You and Brian friend, I'm telling you.
I like how you lean into the camera. I actually just felt a bead of sweat just build up in between my butt cheeks when you leaned into the camera. I was like, oh, fuck, here we go.
Yeah, man. You guys always talk shit about Africa. But, I mean, it's a hard region. And, I mean, the money and the setup is... Dude, if you had seen the semi-final in Africa, you'd be quite shocked, man. You'd be like, "What the dude?" It is insane.
Oh, what do you mean by that? Just how austere it is? That it's gritty.
It's gritty, dude. It's. I mean, the host and stuff, they do a good job. Like, I mean, look, they do.
Yeah, what's that guy's name? Who's the host? Tian
Fisher. Yeah.
Yeah, I met him a bunch. He's cool. He seemed cool as shit to me.
Dude, look, hey. He made the best of what he could do, and you know, I know Chad Duran will be. He's great. I think he'll definitely push it in a better direction. And Tian and those guys, they did the best they can with what they could. But I mean, it's still like subpar, you know. It's not like if you go there, you'd be like, what is this, like a local show, or you know? So
like a junior high track and field event.
yeah, dude. You know, I mean, it's basically like that. And that was my first ever competition, and I've only done 2 competitions in my life. Those 2 competitions. So
that is something crazy. I saw in one of your interviews. You've only done 2 competitions and then the CrossFit Games.
yeah.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Yeah, so I mean,
What did Jason say to you when you made it this year? Was he pissed?
No, he wasn't pissed. Like, he was, I mean, I guess, hey.
Did he go Masters?
Maybe he was pissed. Maybe he just didn't show it. But I mean, Jason's a good guy. Like, that dude's insane.
He is
like,
a good guy.
I got nothing but respect for that guy. Like, one of the best African athletes, even CrossFit athletes. He's a great athlete. Like, he finished top 10. He's been there. He's done like great performance in Dubai and stuff like that. Dude's a beast. He's got like 4 kids, or I don't know, 2 kids. He's like 38. You know, proof that CrossFit does work at all ages. You know, and he pushed me to the limits, and I pushed him to the limits. You know, and that was great. Yeah, and having someone like that in the competition, when you got 1 spot, and there's like 3 of you going for that 1 spot, it's tough. You know, it's not like there's like, if the field was deeper, let's say the top 10 were like all competitive, and they all pushing for that top spot. You can mess up and then catch up, you know. But because there's only like 3 guys, it's the margin is so tight.
Are you a good coach?
I try to be.
Do you enjoy it?
Yes, I know. I mean, obviously this time lately, it's training for the games was insane. You know, if you're a good coach, you put in a lot of like energy. You know, you walk a lot, you move a lot, you do the movements a lot, and you know, I coached like 35 hours a week, and training to the games, I was like training like
wow.
20-30 hours a week. And I was still trying to keep a good standard of coaching. I would do like 16 to 20 steps a day coaching, and I ride my bike to work and to another gym. And I was like, man, if you've got to be a good coach and an athlete, it's complicated. But so at this moment, I do enjoy coaching, but at the moment, no, because I mean, I want to be competitive. So you got to find the balance. You know, do you want to be the coach, or do you want to be the best athlete?
What do you think you could offer a world-class rugby team? You could advance
training, like coaching and training.
Yeah, fitness training. Could you be a strength coach with what you know now that you perform CrossFit at the highest level?
I have worked with some teams, and I mean, I do enjoy it. That's just like, again, another sacrifice, because then you're working with the team. You got to like, you're always going away on the weekends. You know, it's quite a commitment. You know, like there, if you're committing for a pro team, you're committing a lot of hours and a lot of time, a lot of individual needs. And then you're working with like big egos, you know, big egos, professional rugby players, and, you know, professional athletes. Anybody with athletes, you know, it's hard to tell them, hey, listen, you got to do this. And, you know, nowadays everybody knows better. Hey? So maybe, why not? Maybe one day I will work in a rugby situation. For the moment, I'm enjoying CrossFit coaching. I'm enjoying CrossFit like training. While I'm still fairly young, I just want to push as an athlete and make the most of it. And, you know, look, you can be a good coach, but if nobody knows who you are you going to make a living? No. You can be a shitty coach and be like the best athletes in the world, and everybody will buy your program, right? But you're a shit coach, so you make a good living. So while you're still young, like, if you can compete, make a name for yourself. Put yourself out there, get a good image out there, and then, you know, slowly work your way into coaching. Some other guys have done it. It seems to be working pretty well for them.
I love it. Torque tank. What do you think about that device, the torque tank?
Never used it. I don't think it should be in a competition. Yeah. You know, anything that's, if you push harder, it resists harder. That doesn't make any sense.
Good. And can you explain that to me? Can you explain to me why that doesn't make any sense to you?
What do you like? Why do you need to explain? If you
I
push
don't need
harder-
it explained to me. I need someone else to explain it to the world too. I feel like I've always explained it to people, but can you explain to us
Dude, if
why?
you-
What about competition makes it fucked up?
basically,
That
so
the
it's like-
harder you push, the harder.
So
it
it's basically
pushes
saying
back.
you're gonna do front squats, but every time you squat, the bar's gonna push back. The bar's gonna push back against you. Every time you squat, if you want to go faster, the bar's gonna push back harder. What? No, like that doesn't make sense.
Have you ever heard of I don't know if these stories are true. I don't know anyone who knows Kim Jong-un or whatever the guy's name is for North Korea, but I heard like if you play golf with him, like every shot's a hole. You got to say every shot of his is a hole in one. And I feel
what happens.
something bad happens to you. But I feel like that's what the torque tank is when you put it in a competition setting. It's like so you're punished, like you just have to do it. You're punished for doing better. It's just complete. It's not competition. Yeah. Wow. Okay. I'm glad you.
Hey man, a good old sled is all you need, man. A sled. What's wrong with the old sled? Like, what's wrong with the sled?
Yeah.
It's probably the best. Like, the sled is probably the best tool for training anyway for CrossFit and all athletes. Is the sled.
Do you think then the only reason why we see it in competitions is because they paid money?
Probably.
We'll get to the bottom of this eventually.
Probably. It's interesting.
Here's the thing too. Someone writes the torque tank may only make sense if it can measure power somehow. I don't even trust that.
Yeah, but then how would you do that in competition?
Like maybe you push it and there's some digital readout on it and it's measuring, but I don't even trust those things. I don't trust the monitors. I don't trust the magnets, the fan blades. I don't trust any of that shit. I like what you're saying. How about just a sled with some weight on it and you push it?
I agree with you. I mean, even in CrossFit, like when you look at the machines, and I've got nothing. I love machines. I mean, I've worked on a lot of the machines, so the ski, the row, and the bike. A guy like myself who's got smaller limbs and lighter will always be at a disadvantage. No matter how much effort I try, no matter how much work I put in, I will always be at a disadvantage because there's an algorithm within this machine, right? So the bigger and the heavier you are, the better and faster you'll be. You know, if it's a sled push, that's like straight up, dude, if you're bigger and heavier, sure, weight moves weights. But if you work harder, like I can work harder, you know. But a machine will always be a machine. So it's got, I mean, is it really a good test of fitness? Yes and no. Yes and no. It is a good test of fitness. The bike, the ski, the rower, they're good tests of fitness. Is it a good way of measuring fitness? I don't know. If it's like rowing on the water, yeah, okay, sure. Because then it's like there's a good transfer to sports, the sport elements where you have to know a bit of skill and how you're rowing and etc. and all that stuff. If you're biking on the bike, basically like the bike to work, I thought that event was great. Look, dude, I mean, I bike to work every day. I know how to ride a bike. I passed some guys who, I mean, I was like, wow, these guys are big athletes. I was like just pedaling like easy. I looked to my left and some guys were like breathing so heavy and they didn't know how to change gears and they were like struggling. I was like, what? I was like, what's going on here, man?
Oh, wait a second. On at the CrossFit Games?
Yeah, the CrossFit Games.
Yeah, you were biking kind of weird though too, weren't you?
I was biking normally. Like I was just like, this is just a bike, man. I was biking as much as I can with one leg. I got one hamstring, dude. I couldn't be.
Oh, right. Okay. Because I noticed your arms were bent like this.
Oh yeah. So I did have my arms out quite a bit because I was using my arms a lot on the toaster bar. So I just use a lever. So you're doing a lot of your lats. You pull your lats in, try and like round your back. So I don't have to have that hamstring extension. So I was doing a lot of the work on the toaster bar with my lats. So my arms were blown up quite a bit. And dude, I just got big arms and big lats, dude. Come on. What do you mean?
You do have fucking gigantic arms. Your arms are gigantic.
Thanks, Sevan. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I was comparing them this morning to Alexander Caron's. Like your triceps.
No, that guy's got some big arms, dude. Jeez.
Yeah, or Jason Kalipa. Your arms are really. How did they get like that? That just born like that, or just a lot of triceps?
Dude, when I was young, like when we started training, when I started in the gym, like we were told deadlifts and squats, that's no go. Like that'll just hurt your back.
Yeah.
Bench, biceps, and triceps, bro. That's how I did, man.
Did you do a lot of close grip bench press too?
Bro.
Yeah, I did some of those yesterday.
When I was in school, like anytime we'd go out, before like we'd go out anywhere, like a party or anything with my brother. I was like 14, 15 and going out to school. We would do 21s. So it's like 4 or 5 times a week. You know, it's 21s.
I think it's like 7 like this, and
Yes,
then 7
bro.
like this, and then 7 full range.
Exactly, dude.
Yeah. I
You
know that
21s,
shit.
man.
Yeah,
You know
I know
21s.
that
You
shit.
know. Yeah, bro. We'd hit 21s. We'd do 3 sets of 21s. Then we'd do the diamond push-ups, the low push-ups, get that bicep pump. Then like we're looking nice and swole.
Yeah.
That's
Wear
how
a
we
shirt
go,
that's a
man.
little too small.
Exactly, dude. You know it. So, hey, man. I'm not the tallest guy. I know. I'm like 5'5". Like you said, you gotta compensate somehow.
Do what you can. Keelan, why did you we talked about how I talked all that shit about Africa, about how easy it is to go from there. It's ridiculous. I made fun of, I can't remember what the other continent is. I always make fun of too, but
You ranked me last.
I ranked you last. Why did you come on the podcast? Were you like, fuck this guy, I'm not coming on his show? Or are you like, oh no, it's all in good heart, I'm coming on?
No, man, it's all in good heart, man. Hey, listen, everybody's allowed to have an opinion. I mean, hey, look, you ranked me last and I came last, so it's got to be some reason. Eh? But no, the truth is,
your
hey,
loss
man,
was my win. Your loss was my win.
No, I mean, I'm happy to talk about it. It's important to have these conversations, and you know, it's important to express yourself and to be heard and to listen. You know, I listen to your podcast every now and then, and you know, hey, it's interesting. You know, I don't see why I shouldn't go on a podcast, and I'm not anything. I'm not hiding anything. I've got nothing to hide. I mean, I've got anything to express and say what I want to say. You know, I'm happy to be here. It's nice to chat with you. You're a nice guy sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
I really appreciate you coming on. Everything I've heard about you, there's not a lot about you and there's not a lot of interviews I could find about you. But everyone who knows you that I know said that you're one of the nicest guys that they met at the CrossFit Games. And I just want to say that I second that. You're
Thanks,
a gentleman. I appreciate you coming on. And you said you just got off work?
Yeah, I just got to work. I finished at 7 o'clock. I actually thought the podcast was tomorrow because she said tomorrow at. But tomorrow is for you tomorrow, but today is for me today. So
I think I'm the center of the universe. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, that's
it's
fine.
been my problem since I've been born. When I text you just now on your phone, did you get the text?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, okay.
I did. I did send you a message. I think I replied to you. I don't know if I did or not. I was just had to ride back home, so I jumped on my bike
I see
and
it. I see it. Okay. I see it now. Yeah. And I did respond because I text you here and on WhatsApp. Okay. At both places.
Yeah.
All right, brother. Hey, thank you. You have my number. Text me anytime. I don't sleep by my phone. You can never interrupt me. It was really an honor to meet you. And I don't say this to a lot of people. I can't think of anyone I've said it to in 600 podcasts. I hope we get to hang out sometime and meet in person. You're a cool dude.
Appreciate it, dude. Appreciate it, man. We'll keep in contact. And I'm waiting for my fruit.
Yes. Oh, will you send me your address? I'm gonna try to do it.
Okay.
Okay,
have a good one, man. Thanks for the podcast.
Yep.
Bye.
Send me your shirt size too.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll send you one of your new favorite shirt.
Okay. Thanks, dude.
Bye. 2 podcasts today. I canceled my 3rd. That's a cool dude. Not gonna lie, I was a little nervous. I don't even remember. I was just a little nervous because I just didn't have I couldn't do a lot of research on him. There's not a lot of stuff out there about him. Oh, this person wants to know more about my colonoscopy. You know what Kaiser did? Kaiser sent me a piece of paper to put in my toilet and then shit on it. And then from there, send them a sample. Send them a sample. But I didn't do it. Maybe I should get a colonoscopy. I don't know. I feel great. I look great. Don't I look great? I feel great. I look great. I sound great. The only thing I need more of is sleep. I just need a little more sleep. I don't normally say shit like that, but I just need to sleep a tiny bit more. Maybe a call-in show tonight. Maybe. No. I'm going out. Greg's in town tonight. I'm going out. That's what I'm doing. I think his plane lands any minute. How's the flight? All right. Oh, yes. Andrew Hiller. What's up? All right, guys. Thank you. Yes, Tommy has warned me about that. That's right. Sevan, do you know who he was? I don't know who he was talking about. Johnny. I didn't even know if he was fucking black or not. I don't even know shit. I thought for sure he was a Pakistani guy or an Indian guy. I'll tell you this. Do you know why I didn't want to ask? Because for the fucking life of me, I didn't want it to be Rich Froning. That's why I didn't ask. I didn't care who else it was. I just did not want it to be Rich. I love Rich so much. I didn't want anyone to say anything bad about Rich and then me just fucking have to get on a plane, go to France and fucking put Keelan in a headlock. Oh, I know. I owe you some footage from that. I have the footage too. I know. I owe it. I do owe it to you guys. Some footage from Greg's last up. He's having another up coming up here on October 7th. Pretty excited about that. All right, guys. Thank you, Mr. Wayne. Thank you, as always, Brandon Waddle, Adam Blakesley, Eric Wise, Johnny. I don't know who he's talking about. Javier Acosta, Vindicate. Get your gear, your Sevan Podcast gear at Vindicate. All the shit's cool. This is from Vindicate, the shirt. Travis, I'm thinking about building out that skateboard today. I don't know if I'm going to get in trouble with you for that. Who else on here needs to be Miss Ridow, Elise Carr Ridow, Eric Wise, Melissa Odier, our Armenian contingent. I don't see anyone else. It's just the same 6 of you in here. Rack biceps curl athlete. I don't know what that is. Hi to you. Trish. Hi. He said he listens to the podcast. Waddell. Oh, Waddell. Got it. Not Waddle. Got it. Yeah, I think Waddell is. I knew a Waddell. Who did I know? Is there a games athlete named Waddell, or was that a friend in high school? Waddell. So Jason Waddell, Joey Waddell, Kathy Waddell. Waddle sounds better. I know. You could see why he might not like it, though, right? That's not one of those attractive traits when someone waddles. It is not. Rack biceps. There are 5 million white people in South Africa. Yeah. I mean, there's fucking, gazillions. Sounds like there's some Chinese people in there, too. Why did Rack Biceps make fun of me for something? Saying ZA, most people are mixed. I mean, what the fuck is wrong with that country? No chance it was Rich. Thank you. Then if it was Matt, he took a second shot at him too, which was kind of funny. That was the funniest part of the show. Sevan, thanks for all your hard work. Thank you. Send my wife a text. Tell her. Brandon Waddell. I used to get to punish prisoners when they mispronounced it. Oh, shit. Okay, well, that's a good note to change the show on. I will talk to you guys later. Peace.